round of applause to Mr. Hariharan Iyer. So, a quick intro about Hariharan. He's got a trademark in India, which is the enter trainer. Enter trainer. Enter trainer मतलब वो विद्या वाला entertainment that. So, unique blend of where he makes his trainings fun and interactive and engaging. He's a founder of HSSE, which is Hariharan School of Success Education. A corporate trainer, more than 1,000 videos on his YouTube. He's certified from the US of A, United States of America. He's the author of 10 books. 10 books. So, an amazing, very talented person with us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for this fantastic opportunity. It's always an honor to do a session, whatever the time duration, because allotted in TTC. Thank you for accommodating me. I had nominated myself as a speaker. Thanks for the opportunity. अब हम एक काम करेंगे. I want people to be a little closer. So can we just have 4 tables? Only 4 tables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? You already have overcrowded. Let's have only 4 tables. Can I only 4 groups? So economic class. ये table थोड़े देर वो ठीक है. आप इसके लिए कोई भी रूल अप्लाई नहीं होगा. तो एक दो आप लोग डिवाइड हो गए. वहाँ पे चले जाइए, कुछ लोग यहाँ पे आए. थोड़ा सा डिवाइड हो जाएगा. डिवाइड एंड रूल. ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा? ऑन नहीं है क्या? कम आ रहा है. कितना रखा तुमने? कितना 12? बट थोड़ा सा बढ़ा लेंगे, प्लस कर ले. This is going to be a very quick but very practical session which will help you to become a better facilitator. तो इसके लिए मेरे को थोड़ा cooperation चाहिए. Somebody's got something to speak. Please don't stand at the back and talk. Please go outside and talk. That's my humble request. And yes, now it's up to me to ensure that you all are engaged for the next 15-20 minutes. What a very serious session. And this is normally done over 2 days of certification. उसका जो निचोड़ है, उसका जो essence है, वो मैं आपको 20 मिनट में देने वाला हूँ. So are you with me? Yes. Yes. Okay. And this session is called as the 4 quadrants of facilitation. What is it called? 4 quadrants of facilitation. Okay. So now हम लोग सब स्कूल गए थे. मैं गया था, पढ़ाई नहीं किया. तो हमने there is something. There is Rishabh and Abhishek. If you don't mind, you can step out and talk. Okay. So Vinit sir, I can see MJ. We need only 4 groups. So if you can join any of the tables.
I want to say goodbye to you.
पास करूं.
Goodbye.
और क्लोज लूं. इतना बड़ा आवाज में आवाज लूं. So when we went to school, how did we learn the nursery rhymes? Jack and Jill went up the hill. How did we learn it? Okay. So there was a teacher who said something and then we repeated. Repetition, right? So I want one sentence which I want to read out aloud and I want you to repeat with me and print it in your mind and your heart. That this is the most important comes to becoming a fantastic facilitator. Okay? So, if participants are distracted, if participants are distracted, it does not make them poor learners. It does not make them, if participants are distracted, it does not make them poor learners, it makes us ineffective facilitators. So can we repeat the whole sentence together now? If participants are distracted, it does not make them poor learners, it makes us ineffective facilitators. So the onus of attention span, or the onus of being engaged in the session, whose responsibility it is? How much percentage? 100%. So it is the skill of the facilitator which will keep the audience engaged or not engaged. Sometimes I behave a little funny as a participant because I want to have some fun. And if I can't be reined in or controlled, that is not my problem. That does not make me a poor learner. It makes me a difficult participant which the facilitator should have the skill to handle. So the onus is on whom? Okay? Now, very quickly, what is the difference between teaching, training, learning and facilitation? Very quickly, whatever your thoughts come to your mind. Anybody can go first. Because we have less time, I'm going to do it slightly rapid fire. What is the difference between teaching, training, learning and facilitation? So, okay, what is teaching?
Passing the information.
Passing the information? One way. So teaching is a download. Top to down, it's instruction. What is teaching? It is instruction. Acha, before I move on, just want to say one thing. Never prefer to use the hand mic for a workshop. यहाँ पे it's unavoidable right now, so it's okay because the color mic is not working properly. But never conduct any workshop with hand mic. Always use collar mic. And always use a mic to conduct a session. Don't think मेरी आवाज तो जबरदस्त है, छोटा रूम है, हाँ ठीक है, बहुत छोटा रूम है तो मत यूज करो, but always use a mic. It helps your throat a lot. Okay? I speak a little loudly, so it's very important for me, but even for others, it's a suggestion. Okay? So teaching is instruction. What is the next question? Teaching, training. So what is training? Two-way skill build. Training is nothing but an intervention for change.
Intervention for change.
Yeah. To bring about a change. You are creating an intervention. It's like a platform. So what TTC is doing is, it is an intervention in which some amount of teaching happens, some amount of facilitation happens, some amount of speaking happens. Okay? So what is teaching? Teaching is a download. What is training? It's an intervention for change. What is learning?
Learning is coming from other side.
Coming from other side,
If you teach or train,
yeah,
somewhere learning is happening.
correct. So how would you define it? How would you define learning? It's the intake of what you learn, or of the content, or of a perspective, or of an idea, and that leads. What does that lead to?
Change.
It leads to a behavioral change. So what is learning? Learning is anything that causes a change in behavior. How will I know I have learned it? Only when the behavior has changed. Otherwise it is just information. So in Jewish session, I wrote down I have to work on my technology quotient. Now I know it. Right now it's information. But when will I become a better person at using technology? When I actually learn it and apply it. Maybe I take a course, I take somebody's help. So So learning is when there is a change in behavior. So whenever you do a session, everybody does not learn, but everybody receives. But do they learn? It's a choice that they have, whether they want to learn or they don't want to learn. And that's fine. Everything can't be learned at one go. So teaching is a download, training is an intervention for change, and learning is anything that causes a change in behavior. And what is facilitation? Enabling that change. How? And proposing, handholding, observing. अच्छा, अभी छाप लो इसको वापस दिमाग में. Facilitation is the art of deriving the knowledge. It is the art of deriving the knowledge or the learning, not using teaching primarily. Maybe there is an element of teaching, but it is not teaching. And it is neither coaching, and it is neither mentoring. It is the art of deriving the knowledge by using various facilitative tools like question-based discussion, activity, interaction, role play, so on and so forth. Facilitation, we are all now as a profession, maybe we are more than one within the same domain. For example, my profession is, yes, I am an entrepreneur, that is one part, but as a professional, I am a speaker trainer. I am not just a speaker, I am not just a trainer, I am a speaker trainer. So actually trainer means facilitator, okay? So I speak also where I don't need to do any derivation. Jao bhashan do, exit karo. That is a different skill altogether. How to be a motivational speaker. So speaking mein do part hai. There is public speaking and there is motivational speaking. Both are different. Though they are interlinked. Foundation of motivational speaking is also public speaking. But it's a different skill altogether. How to be a motivational speaker. Kabhi mauka mila to uske upar charcha kiya. Okay. So how to be a motivational speaker. But here TTC is primarily a platform for speakers or facilitators.
I think for both.
Yeah, but mainly what? So I have a suggestion for talking 10 उसपे भी आते हैं. Okay. So primarily हमारा profession कहाँ से? We are facilitators, right? So facilitation is the art of deriving the knowledge using facilitative tools. उसमें बहुत सारे tools होते हैं. Okay. So one of the tools we are using right now is called audience interaction and question-based discussion. I am asking the question, you are answering to that question. Okay? So are we clear on the terms?
Yes.
Okay? Very important. Right? Now we are going to do a quick activity now. And after that, I will quickly explain to you, based on that activity, I will help you derive the 4 quadrants. Is that okay?
Yes.
मैंने अभी बोला कि टीचिंग नहीं करना है, फैसिलिटेट करना है. So let me try this. Okay? So now you have to imagine that this is a room where an exhibition of gadgets are happening. क्या बोला? Exhibition of gadgets. It's one of my most favorite activities which we do in our entertainer certification. And wherever else I get a chance to do a train the trainer program. So it's a room of gadgets. Okay. Now to my right, there are 3 sections in this room. To my right, there is somebody who is giving a lecture about the gadgets. Okay. To my left, there is an audio-visual presentation which is going on about the gadgets. Somebody is doing an AV on that. Behind, where Divakar and team are sitting, behind, the gadgets are kept open, where you can pick them up, touch them, feel them and put it back. ओके, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? लेक्चर हो रहा है। यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? ये भी चल रहा है। पीछे क्या चल रहा है? गैजेट्स और गैजेट्स। ओके, now when I say 1 2 3 go without looking at where others are going, please go and stand where whichever section you want to be a part of. 1 2 3 go. Please stand. Please stand in that section. Please stand in that section. ये ऑडियो विजुअल है, यहाँ पे सिर्फ लेक्चर हो रहा है। हाँ, और उधर गैजेट से कैट ओपन। गो डू इट फास्ट, वेरी क्विकली। फैंटास्टिक। ओके, व्हाट हैपेंड नाउ? वेरी क्विकली, एनीबॉडी, व्हाट हैपेंड नाउ? Why some of you, many of you are there, few here, some here? Why?
ये काइनेस्थेटिक लोग हैं,
ये काइनेस्थेटिक लोग हैं,
ये ऑडिटरी
ये
लोग
ऑडिटरी लोग हैं,
ये ऑडियो
और ये विजुअल लर्नर। So this is basically visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. We all know about it, but I just want to demonstrate something, which is why I made you do this activity. Now back to your questions. Yeah. Maybe it's okay. It's okay. Doesn't matter. हाँ, कोई बात नहीं, वो आपके प्रेफरेंस के हिसाब से भी आता है। What? अच्छा, it depends on the store. Thank you. Acha. Now, I don't want to get into, we all know what is. Okay, anybody here who doesn't know this concept of visual auditory kinesthetics from a facilitation perspective? You may know it as a learner preference perspective, but not maybe as a facilitator. How to use that in your training programs. Okay, तो अलग subject है, उसमें जाएंगे. Okay. So now I want you to quickly respond to why did I make you do this activity and how is it connected to facilitation? Very quickly. Why did I make you do this activity? Yeah.
First of all, it became experiential.
It became
You
experiential.
did not give any download.
Absolutely.
We conducted it. You asked us question and basis our knowledge, we gave the answer.
Absolutely.
So
Fantastic.
there's a better buy-in from the participants.
Correct. Now instead of this, I had said there are actually 3 types of learners. There are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Then what am I doing? I am doing teaching. I am not deriving. So when you are deriving, you should know where the train needs to go. You should know the destination. Otherwise, some participants might take you on some other trip. So you need to bring them back on track. I know my destination, but I will make you feel as if you only reach there on your own. I did not push you into it, which is what teaching is all about. Open page number 35. I am pushing you into opening page number 35. Okay? Now let's put this into a quadrant. Yes, sir.
But if there are people, right, those who are not in that state, teaching is meant for young kids. They are not in a state where they can have perspectives,
Yeah.
viewpoints, right? And there is an information which is absolutely new to them. Can we
No, so
ignore
you can
teaching
mix
here?
tools. You can go into teaching mode where required. Absolutely. So it is not necessary that see we do that in our training also. Sometimes we are only doing auditory. We are only explaining the concept. So we are into teaching mode at that time. But teaching mode should be part of the chain. It should not become a predominant style. That's what is important. And secondly, let us never think that children don't have the ability to derive knowledge. They are far smarter than us. And that's why one of my hit workshops that I have done is for faculty members of colleges and schools, where I have done this activity with them and it's like a eureka moment for them. अच्छा ऐसा भी होता है? So it is a 50 minutes class of 60 students. How will I do an activity? I said it's very much possible. You don't have to involve everyone. You can involve 10 people, but 50 will, other 50 will also be engaged because they are observing. Right? तो उसमें बाद में चलेंगे, बहुत लंबा सेशन हो जाएगा देखो. Now let's put this into a quadrant. Okay? So the topic was visual, auditory, kinesthetic. That is the topic of this particular session within the session that I am doing. Right? And what is the big idea of this session? No, no. Of this back session. What is the big idea of that particular session? Big idea of 4 quadrants में मैं आता हूँ.
Facilitation में what is the
How can you use VAC model in facilitation by understanding learning preferences? So there are 3 types of learning preferences. What are those 3 types of learning preferences? Auditory and kinesthetic. What is the big idea of the session? The overall session I am doing? It is for you to use the 4 quadrants in your training programs, whether they are 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 2 days, 6 months intervention, doesn't matter. The 4 quadrants becomes the foundation of everything that you will now from today do as a facilitator. Are you with me?
Yes.
That's why my suggestion is talking 10 you can have, also have train in 10. You should be able to conduct a workshop in 10 minutes. Dilip and me, when we do the entertainer certification, the floor test is only for 7 minutes. In 7 minutes, you have to execute the 4 quadrants. Can you imagine a workshop being conducted in 7 minutes? Only 7 minutes. Shamlata did that. Fantastic demonstration of how to conduct a workshop in 10 minutes. And without giving any yarn.
He did absolutely.
That was a fantastic exhibition. And yesterday GD session, the big idea, you will not forget it for the rest of your life. That's the, so these 2 things I could observe. I said, wow, what an example of the big idea. कि रिश्ते मिलते नहीं बनाने पड़ते हैं एक स्टोरी के साथ. हम लोग ठीक है, एग्जैक्ट वर्डिंग वो नहीं होगा, लेकिन हमको बिग आइडिया मिल गया. क्यों मिला? क्योंकि उसने 10 बार वही बात बताई. That is the power of a big idea in facilitation. Yes, sir.
In manufacturing units, they have something called as TTC and the Quadrants, and their presentation time is 7 minutes. And for that 7-minute presentation, there are a team of 5 people who do that, and that is after the preparation of approximately 1.5 to 3 months. This is out of experience I am telling you.
Awesome.
There is a team
Yes.
and तैयारी करके
I'll wrap up in 5 minutes. I have to
Read by 5 minutes.
I know that. That's because others are very enthused. Just give me 5 minutes. Okay. Now let's put this into a quadrant. What is this? What is this quadrant? Very simple. Introduction. So what is introduction? I am going to conduct a session on 4 quadrants of facilitation. Okay, introduction. कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. Okay. This is the speaker. This is the topic. Then from introduction, move immediately to activity. And activity is not audience interaction. That is the trainer's activity. The exhibition game, that is an activity where every person participates. They physically do something. That's an activity. Now once you do the activity, so there is a briefing of the activity, and then you do a debriefing of the activity. From the activity, you now derive the concept. Speaking में क्या होता है? सीधा concept दे देते हैं. Facilitation में concept देना नहीं है, concept derive करना. तो हमने exhibition game किया, तो क्या concept निकला उसमें से? Fact. Types of learners. जब ये हमने एक्टिविटी किया, किसी को पता नहीं था कि एक्टिविटी से क्या निकलने वाला. That's the game. Okay. Now, so Manish, this is where the teaching mode will come. Once the concept is derived, and you close with summary of what we learned and how we will apply this, what Divakar and everybody calls as call to action. How will I apply this? session for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, like I'm doing. Even 1 hour, 2 hours. Fundamental will not change. Whether it's a 10-minute session or a 2-day workshop. For every module, you will use 4 quadrants of facilitation. Suppose I'm doing a 2-day workshop on leadership, 10 concept होंगे, हर एक concept का 4 quadrants of facilitation use होगा. So what is the big idea of this session?
4 quadrants of facilitation.
And what is the 4 quadrants of facilitation?
Introduction,
Activity, concept,
Summary and
summary and applications. So concept derivation हो गया. Now get into summarizing. So what are the key learnings from today's workshop? So how will you now apply this? So my last question before I sign off. Now that you have got an essence of what is the 4 quadrants of facilitation, from now, how will you apply this in your facilitation journey? Can I have some quick responses?
use all the 3 modalities BAK in the session
Okay.
design.
Okay? And
Each and every interaction in all these 4 quadrants.
learn the facilitative tools also, because when we say activity may not be always physical
Right.
activity, it could be questioning.
absolutely. So that they'll have to learn. Those who are not certified or not undergone a formal learning, they will have to learn that. That's another part. But I just want to end by saying, never ever conduct a session ever without using the 4 quadrants of facilitation. Never ever conduct a session without using the 4 quadrants of facilitation, and never ever conduct a session without doing an activity which everybody in the audience can participate. It can be an individual activity also, but it has to be an activity which they will do. I have shot a small video on this for 20 minutes on the 4 quadrants of facilitation, which I will share with all of you in the group. It will be like a refresher. Okay, last question. Your biggest takeaway from today's session, quickly.
4 quadrants.
4 quadrants of facilitation. And what is the thing to remember about the 4 quadrants of facilitation?